Okay, guys, you're all mic'd up. We just had a really, really great conversation, but I forgot to hit the record button. So now, so now Russ is frustrated with me. But what we were talking about.
It's not like it's going to be a natural conversation if we got to keep repeating it. Jeez.
Well, welcome to Life with Jess, by the way. This is just what happens sometimes. Anyway, so we were talking about underrated Bluff, Utah, how beautiful it was. Stop at the Comb
Ridge Cafe.
Comb Ridge Cafe. It was delicious. The food there was great. We stayed in this little RV park right across the street. So we walked to dinner last night. We got in. It's called Coral Sand RV Park. It's small. It's quiet. It's inexpensive, like $50.
Yep.
$50. We just stayed there for a night. I have to say, their Wi-Fi was exceptional.
Yeah.
We are hard to please when it comes to that. And they had some really good stuff happening there for folks. So we give that particular little resort a pretty good marks. I don't know if there's restrooms and things like that for folks that maybe have, different kinds of rigs.
There are. They don't have a lot of other amenities, but if you're looking for just an overnight stay that's safe and clean and
quiet,
easy to get in and out of, quiet, good Wi-Fi, that meets the mark for all that stuff. So
for sure. And the other thing is, I was going to update you guys in my post yesterday. I said something about baling wire and duct tape, and what we were fixing with baling wire. Well, we is a strong term. What Russ was fixing with baling wire was we have this like all-weather package on our fifth wheel, and it had started to sink, which we knew that had a little bit of openness. It just is like this. I don't know. I'm surprised this isn't a heavier piece of something, but it just is almost like a thick cardboard.
It's just like a big plastic piece, and it's really to insulate the flooring and the underbelly and all the tanks and all that stuff, so that it doesn't freeze and stuff in colder weather or hotter weather. It's also insulating, so you don't have lose so much air conditioning and so forth. But yeah, it wasn't really manufactured well, like most things in RVs, so it's going to need some extra, help and some angle iron probably attached underneath there to keep it and support it better. But we, we had to stop in the crazy winds yesterday, and because it was coming down, and so we had to stop, get some baling wire, and we strapped that across multiple times across there to hold it up. And then at dinner last night, I was like, why didn't I just use some ratchet straps? That would have been way easier than the whole baling wire incident that we were trying to do in the heavy winds. So this morning I just put 3 ratchet straps across and secured it a lot more, a lot better than just the baling wire. And it'll be good now till we get to Colorado and get some time to, actually permanently fix it. But we can get you guys some pictures of the temporary fix for now, and then what it's going to look like when we're completely done. So,
yeah. The RV life is definitely not for the faint of heart. You got to know how to fix some things, yeah?
Yeah. And but yesterday was a good shakedown day for sure. We had a lot of, some pretty heavy hills to climb coming out of Phoenix into Flagstaff, and there's also some pretty, steep downhill, going down into Camp Verde and so forth. And, if you've towed vehicles or towed, campers, and especially this fifth wheel, which is a lot heavier than our other camper, going downhill is probably as scary or more dangerous than going uphill if you're not careful and don't keep it in a low gear and so forth to make sure that you're, not wearing your brakes out. But the truck did really well. The rig did really well. Even in the high winds, it didn't get pushed around too much. I think it's just because it's so heavy. But our smaller trailer, we used to get whipped around in the wind a lot worse than this one does. And this one's way bigger billboard than the other one. But it did really well. We didn't really feel the winds until we got out to go, to get fuel and take the dogs out and so forth. Then we got almost blown down. So it was an interesting day. So
I've never, I don't think, been outside in winds like that. It was pretty crazy. So we are grateful. It's still kind of windy today, but maybe half of what it was. And we only have a couple hours to drive before we get to beautiful Moab. So stay tuned.